for Americans and hard for American families.
But when you have,
and that's what I'm ready to do.
But when you have 80% of Republicans wanting to see Trump run in 2024,
you know what? I'm a political scientist, all right?
She's checking her again. She needs to be checked. She's like, yo, you know, and she's still doing it in a professional manner, because she's not gonna be like, yo, look, you know what? Shut up. That's really what she wants to say, but you know.
First of all, let me be very clear. I said at the time, January 6th was wrong. I called it an assault on law and order and an assault on our democratic processes. So full stop, it was wrong. Law enforcement will determine what happened there.
Now, for those of you who don't know who this woman is, this is Condoleezza Rice. Now, I think that a lot of you do know who she is, but I could be wrong. Just in case there's anybody like kind of like really younger than me, you know, this is Condoleezza Rice. She is a black conservative. In fact, she was, what was she, like the secretary of, oh man, what was she, the chief of staff or something? Somebody drop a comment below, please. Let me know what Condoleezza Rice was during the Bush administration, right? Condoleezza used to get dragged up and down the mainstream media for being a black conservative, okay? SNL, everybody was making jokes about this girl. Now, me, I didn't care because I was young. It was like, whatever, right? But today, it's like, it was a bit much. Now, I am not a fan of Condoleezza Rice, not because she was a Republican. I didn't care that she was a Republican. But I'm not a fan of her because she helped lie to the American people and take us into a war in Iraq that we had no business being in. But in this clip, we are going to see her check Sunny Hostin. And Sunny Hostin needs to be checked by people like this, although I think I still could do it better. So let's go ahead and watch it.
And those who violated the law ought to be punished. I also, on January 6th, for the first time since I was the National Security Advisor on September 11th, I cried that day, right? Because I thought, I study countries that do this. Yes. I didn't think it would happen in my own country, so it was a terrible moment. I will say that that night, when they filed back into the Capitol after it was secured, and they certified that election, I had new faith in our institutions and the people who were protecting them. So we came through that as a country that ultimately upheld the law. Now, I think what Senator McConnell may be referencing is, yes, it's time to move on in a lot of ways. Yeah. I'm one who believes that the American people are now concerned about their what we call kitchen table issues, the price of gasoline, inflation, what's happening to their kids in school. I think we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I will say that as somebody who was a national security expert, maybe didn't see in quite the same way the rise of China in ways that we're seeing it now. And so we do have a lot of issues, and I hope that...
So, she's still a neocon, right? And I'll explain to you a little bit more about Condoleezza and her type of like foreign policy, okay, this America's superpower foreign policy that in fact is not really based in reality, okay? And again, you know, on this channel, we love America, okay? We are America first, but it's America first in reality, not some fake patriotic America first where we lie to ourselves and clap ourselves into a grave. No, inconvenient truth is what we talk about here. But also to thank you guys, everybody who's watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell. I really, really appreciate every eye that lands on these videos. God bless all of y'all. Thank you.
What we will do is move on to the next generation of leadership. Because even people like me, I was in Washington a total of 10 years, 2 years with George H.W. Bush, 8 years with George W. Bush. I shouldn't go back. We ought to move on to the next generation, move ahead and deal with the American people's issues.
So you wouldn't go back if they asked you?
I have no desire to go back to Washington, D.C. Absolutely zero.
Well, I think it's really politically expedient for Mitch McConnell to say, let's move on, especially when the former twice impeached disgraced president enjoys attacking Mitch McConnell. But the problem is that past will become prologue if we don't find out exactly what happened January 6th.
And we will.
So it's not time now.
We will find out.
We must find out before moving on.
We will find out. but I'm going to tell you, I live in California, not Washington, D.C. And the American people do have other concerns that we ought to be thinking about and talking about.
Respectfully,
And
Madam
so,
Secretary, I think...
well, let me finish, Sunny, because as I said, I thought this would happen in countries I studied, not countries that I lived in. Our institutions have to be upheld. What happened on January 6th was wrong. I don't know how much more strongly I can say what happened on January 6th was wrong. I also know that as a government and as a country, we've got to be concerned about the things that are making life hard for Americans and hard for American families.
So before they start, this is from, I don't care that their eyes are closed. I was getting this is from not too long ago. I would say that this might have even been only like a year ago, right? And they were already saying, Condoleezza was trying to tell people, yo, maybe it was like a year and a half ago. She was there. She's trying to tell people. She's making a good point. She's like, listen, I mean, me with this, yeah, we do need to find out what happened on January 6th, as in who infiltrated January 6th. What was the master plan? Because the precedent that set for this country is beyond, I don't want to say it's beyond repair, but people don't even understand the magnitude of it. But coming back to the point, they'll never do that investigation, right? So leave it alone. Let it go. It has to go away. But at the same time, she's trying to tell them, people don't care about January 6th. At that time, gas probably was like $7 a gallon or something. There was a time where gas prices ran all the way up. And these girls still wanted to talk about January 6th. And then you wonder why y'all failed today. And you blame it on misogyny, and you blame it on racism and everything else, and so-called uneducated white women. No, it's because you weren't listening. And Condoleezza, I like how, even though her policies they disgust me as far as foreign, but I like how she's very assertive, like, yo, I'm still talking. You know, respectfully, Madam Secretary, no, I'm not done yet. Good for her.
For Americans and hard for American families. And that's what I'm ready to do.
But when you have 80% of Republicans wanting to see Trump run in 2024,
you know what? I'm a political scientist, all right? And unless I could see the questions that were actually in that poll, unless I could see the assumptions that were actually in that poll, I'm not going to take for granted that that poll is correct.
So Quinnipiac, you don't believe in
no,
in those
I
polls.
said I'm a political scientist. I understand polls. And unless I really knew what was in that poll, I just want to repeat as to what I want to see in my party.
She's checking her again. She needs to be checked. She's like, yo, you know, and she's still doing it in a professional manner, because she's not going to be like, yo, look, you know what? Shut up. That's really what she wants to say. But, you know, I mean, this is Madam Secretary, you know. So it's like, you know, you can't get like me, who's going to be like, Sonny, stop talking. You talk too much. You really, really talk too much. Like that. Like, that's how I would want to say it. Like, girl, every time I turn around, you flapping your gums. You gotta say sorry. You gotta do notes. No, I wouldn't do it all the way like that. But like, you know, when she has to do the sorry notes or whatever, I have a legal note. Yeah, shut up. No, but she checked her good. Now hold on now. I said this is what I'm looking for.
I want to see the next generation of leadership step up. I want those of us who have been there, done that, to step back. And I want to move on to a better America.
It's just that simple. It's just that simple. But like, and I love this. I love this part. Hold on. Let me see if I
Scientist, all right?
Yeah. Yep. Good. I got shut up. Like, okay. Yeah. Now, to be fair, like when it's domestic policies, I'm all the way down with Condoleezza Rice. She speaks against CRT. CRT, critical theory. Not even just critical race theory. Critical theory. It should be about merit for Americans. Yeah, not for people coming in to this country. Because like right now, we have like this crazy thing going on with H-1B1, where like a bunch of people are finding out that Republicans have been duping them for a while. This is why, too, I'm like, I got to take this channel extremely serious, and I'm going to start streaming and everything, because it is terrible how people feel duped by the same people they've been listening to for the past 4 years. And I'm not just talking about Trump with this one. I'm not even talking about Elon. I'm talking about people like PBD, Tim Pool, stuff like that. And look, whatever, get your bag. I don't care. But over here, Inconvenient Truth, I really respect it. This is why I respect it. But coming back to the point, Condoleezza, her domestic policies, I'm totally down with. She's not one of those affirmative action. Like, we right there. But foreign policy? Oh, no. This girl believes that the weapons of mass destruction, that's when you can call, if you know, the people who want to be, like, having a label, that's when I'm a so-called lefty. I'm really not. But because it's like, I need to deal with the reality. I need to see why are we going into war? Why did we go into Ukraine? What's going on? We don't need Americans getting involved. We have too many bases around the country. I want a strong military defense system. I want the best jets, drones, and everything else. But I don't need a bunch of Americans all around the world being cannon fodder, you know, being the next tripwire for the next war. Pat Tillman, okay? Look him up. Okay, so that's the type of stuff she's into. She's already talking about China becoming a superpower. Don't worry. That we've been sending billions to Taiwan. So we're going to get involved in that somehow. We have problems of our own here. A lot. A lot. In the meantime, though, I did appreciate this clip. That's the one person who can, I mean, like, just look at this body language, this whole aura. It's, I'm sorry, and it's chill out, right? We like it. We love it. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.